I realize that I have really done you a disservice. So I wanted to come on to talk about that more and talk about what I'm doing about it. So, just to let you know, in case I am new to you, my name is Dr. Avis. I am the multi seven figure CEO of Media to Millions. And I work with service based entrepreneurs to help them understand how to craft their own high ticket offers, understand how to market those aggressively and effectively, and ultimately how to sell them with ease such that they can grow six and seven figure businesses. And I specialize in helping Black women achieve abundance through their businesses and ultimately normalizing that abundance in our communities. That is my vision. That is my guiding vision. That's what I do. And that's why I do what I would do. But I have to say, recently, it's just really smacked me in the face that that's not enough. It's not enough. I feel like I've done you disservice because I have focused so much on the success of your business, which is important. Like I truly do believe that that provides an avenue towards the ability to have no limits on our ability to be able to take care of our families and do all those things that we want to do when we build successful businesses. But I realize that that's not enough. Here's the reality. Right now, there has been, I would say, very much a war on Black women in many fronts. Here in these social media streets, if I hear one more hateful thing said about Black women, I think I will scream. Yet at the same time, I'm seeing sisters struggling and doing everything that they can to make their lives successful and to make their businesses work, even in this very challenging time. And then at the same time, I know that we come from a history and a reality of being culturally expected to live up to this strong Black woman trope, meaning that we are supposed to bear it all in spite of it all for all, meaning that we have built a normalcy in which we take care of everyone we first, and we never put the mask on ourselves. That has become our normal. And the reality is, it's killing us. The reality is, it's killing us. You know, in one of the many hats that I've worn over the years, I've worn the hat of a researcher. I still am an editor for the State of Black Women in America reports. And one of the bits of data that we unpack in that every year has to do with health disparities. The level of health disparities that Black women face across a variety of indicators with preventable diseases that are related to stress, sisters, is unconscionable. Even if you look at that one statistic, the one that blows me away the most, maternal mortality, where literally in my first year of producing that report, I found in the data that you're more likely to survive pregnancy and childbirth in Pakistan than you are if you're a Black woman living in America. Our maternal mortality statistics are roughly about 4 times that of our white counterparts. And it is consistent across educational and economic stratifications. You can't educate your way out of it. You can't earn your way out of it. There is something deeper, something more insidious, something universal that is specifically attacking the well-being of Black women in this country. Thank you, Monique. I love that. She said, get somebody else to do it. Boundaries. Yes. So I'm coming on here tonight because as I think about that, I think about how that is impacting all of us, whether or not you're pregnant, whether or not you want to get pregnant. We're still breathing the air that is full of the toxicity, that is full of the hate, that is full of the stress, that is full of the overburdening of responsibilities that we bear and wear on our backs each and every day. And imagine doing all that with the added responsibility of running a business, which, by the way, is a responsibility. Especially if you're running a business that is at a level where you're not only responsible for your own well being, for making sure that your family's okay, but every 2 weeks, instead of, getting paid like employees do, you're the one doing the paying. So every 2 weeks, it is your responsibility to take care of all of the families that rely on your business. Stress on top of stress on top of stress. If I've hit a note that you recognize in your life, let me know in the chat. Say, I hear you, sis. If you are experiencing one of these realities or stressors in your life, let me know by saying, I hear you, sis. Because I've been engaged in some conversations over the past few days with some incredible sisters. People who many of us would look at and say, wow, I wish I had her level of success in business. Let me let you know that to a woman, from those who are just starting to those who are running multi-million-dollar enterprises, we all catching hell. We all catching hell. I didn't want tonight to be a downer, but I want it to be real, because here is the challenge. We're all catching hell in isolation. And many of us are under the illusion that we're the only ones dealing with this. Or we are the anchor in our families, we are the anchor in our friend circles, and we have no anchors for ourselves. Who do we go to when we need support? Who do we go to when we need an ear? Who do we go to when we just want to let out all of the responsibilities that just keep piling on us each and every day? And we find our lives revolves around taking care of all of those responsibilities, and somehow we never make it onto our own to-do lists. If you think this conversation is important that other people need to hear, please share. Because tonight I am being extremely transparent, being extremely real. And I think people need to hear this message. Now, I will say this. I believe that as Black women, especially right now, as I mentioned earlier, I believe we're being attacked on all fronts, right? And one of those fronts, go with me for a minute because it's going to sound unrelated, but it is not, has to do with the relationship front, okay? It is as if right now there is this sense of marriage is the golden ring that is sort of dangled in front of Black women. And if they don't have it, it's something wrong with them. We are in a space where tearing each other down with regards to those choices have become normalized. I want to say that this is not an anti-marriage rant. If you are happily married, good for you. I think that's a wonderful institution. My parents were married happily for over 50 years until the day my father took his last breath. I grew up knowing what a beautiful relationship and a loving marriage looked like. I saw it up close and witnessed it for myself. But I also want to take a minute to talk to those sisters right now who are not married and say that you are still a full woman. You are still a woman of value. You are still a woman of worth. Your value is not entangled with the presence or lack of presence of any other human being. You are full. You are wonderfully and independently an incredible being. And if you choose to share with your life with someone, that's wonderful. But the goal is for you to be full. The goal is for you to be happy. The goal is for you to be fulfilled. The goal is for you to have peace. And if you have found that in another avenue, that's your business. I say that to say, I if you do find yourself in that situation, sometimes as a business owner, it becomes that much more interesting, right? Because this whole thing, you are doing it typically on your own. And so there is very little room for error. There's often no other income coming into your space. And so that means that it has to be successful. And that adds sometimes an additional layer of pressure. Now, for my sisters who are married or in a relationship with a significant permanent other, it could be that if your spouse is supportive, that's wonderful. But some of you, I know because I've had conversations, are in situations in which that person tears you down. They challenge your dream, they question your decisions, they make you doubt yourself. I want you to understand no matter what situation you're in, that I want you to engage in a revolutionary act, not as a social experiment, but as a new way of living. I want you to believe in you. I want you to trust you. I want you to prioritize you. Does not mean that you're not prioritizing a relationship if you're in it. But what I'm saying is, if your partner truly loves you, he will want you to be happy and fulfilled and encouraged. And he will want you to pursue your biggest, boldest ambitions, and he would support it. Sometimes people don't support things because they are threatened by your success. I'm just saying it. Let me also say that many of us, oftentimes, as high achievers, as entrepreneurs, as people who are building successful businesses, or who have very successful careers, or you're doing them both at the same time, it is not unusual that we live a life where our responsibilities extend beyond our immediate household. Are there any of you, absolutely, Deborah, God bless her, who has her own. Are there any of you who have the responsibility and who have taken the responsibility of not only pouring into your household financially, but you also take on the responsibility of seeding other people in your family or in your circle beyond your immediate household? Are there some of you who are in that sort of sandwich generation like me? Maybe you're taking care of kids and you're taking care of parents. Are there some of you who are helping cousins and nephews and aunties and mamas and daddies, such that your money is not just going towards your well-being? Your business supports your entire broader circle. And as wonderful as that is for you, in terms of it's a demonstration of your generosity, it also feels like more pressure, doesn't it? because that's now even more people that you are carrying on your shoulders. And you have to make sure that they are okay. And so, once again, the success of that business is not just about you. It's not even just about your family. It's not even just about your employees. It's not even just about your employees' families. It's about the broader circle of people that you also support from the work that you do. Is there anybody here that feels that? Yes? Ooh, managing 3 households. Nikki, Jesus, bless you, child. Jesus. I am, and Arella says, like Atlas. I believe it. And I know our sisters who are here from other countries, you're probably supporting family back home. I mean, it's wonderful that you're doing it, but I want to acknowledge that that is stressful. Here is my point here. We are all carrying these burdens in isolation as individuals, and we wear the mask. We wear the mask every day. We put on the makeup. We put on the smile. We dress up real pretty. But inside, we are feeling crushed under a weight of responsibility that is never seemingly subsiding. And the question is, when do we ever have the opportunity to pour back into ourselves when we have to be on every day, every hour of every day, in order to make sure that everybody around us is okay? Whew. Carl says, thank you, Carl. He says, Dr. Jones DeWeaver, thank you for sounding the alarm. Please know behind a great deal of Black women are fathers. I completely agree with that. Let me read this out loud because it's so important. Hold on. He says, please know behind a great deal of Black women and our fathers and husbands, but your words are real and valuable, and God knows the value of women. Thank you for providing a balanced view and keeping it real. As someone who is supportive, it is still important for your voice to be heard because our society does not honor women in a way that it's truly respectful. I'm going to leave this thread as I am not your talk. Oh, you can still stay. I hope he's still here. But he is saying the absolute truth. And I do want to acknowledge, oh my goodness, there are some wonderful fathers and husbands out there, and brothers and played cousins and real cousins. Like, this is not at all in any way to disparage our brothers, even though there is a very, very small subset that is making it their business to be very hurtful in this moment. But there are also those like Carl who are our true brothers, who ride with us, who protect us, who are there for us, who breathe life into us. And I do not at all want to dismiss that. I want to say, oh, thank you, Carl. Because I am 1,000% a daddy's girl and will always be a daddy's girl till I die. Okay. um, absolutely. Nikki says the exhale feels elusive sometimes. It does. So, sisters, why am I on here? Why am I talking about this tonight? Yes, I have a business and I've had a successful business for a number of years now, and I have helped a lot of Black women receive success in their businesses. But I want you to know that I believe that that's not enough. I think we deserve to experience success in all areas of our lives. And when I say success, I'm not talking about it in a monetary way. Okay. I'm talking about experiencing peace, experiencing fulfillment, experiencing joy, which to me is deeper than happiness. Like, I've literally looked up the definitions because I wanted to make sure I was saying exactly what I wanted to say. Happiness refers to a fleeting positive feeling. Joy sustains. Joy lasts. Joy becomes a way of life. It's like extended happiness. We deserve joy. We deserve to live in a way in which we are healthy, physically, mentally, spiritually, all of that. And the success in business. And the reason why this is so important to me is because I feel like, especially this year, I've seen so many sisters come so close to breaking under the pressure. I have seen so many sisters, like I said, put on the mask, but when you talk with them one on one, you see that they are going through it. And the point is, we're all going through it behind closed doors. And then when something happens, we all feel bad that nobody knew. Do you see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, y'all, I don't know exactly what this is going to look like, but I do know this. I am going to expand what I do so that it addresses this need. But the first way that I want to address this is I want to research it some more. At the heart, you guys, I'm a researcher. If you know anything about me, you know that I've spent many years conducting research studies, writing reports, that sort of thing. I have never seen, don't call me a liar if there is one out there, but I've never seen it. It may be one out there. But I've never seen a study on Black business women and wellness. Like, how are you doing, sis? Yeah, beyond the revenue. How are you doing? How are you feeling? How are your relationships? How is your health? How is your happiness? I've not seen it. So I have to tell you all, I'm the type of person where if I don't see it, that means I need to do it. Absolutely. Hey, Laverne, how you doing? So great to see you. So I put together a little survey. It ain't fancy. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's not fancy, okay? But it's a little survey. And I am going to drop the link in here a little bit later. I can't do it right now because I'm on StreamYard, and StreamYard won't let me be great because it will not let you it will not let you write in the comments while you're live. But what I will do is I'll put like I'll at least put the URL for it right now. And then after I finish, I will put it in the comments. And I just wanted to come on here to ask if you would fill the survey out for me because I'm in data collection mode right now, you guys. Because I don't think enough people are talking about this issue. And I want to create a study where I talk, let me not even make that a ticker. Hold on, guys, because I want everybody to see it. So if it stays still, I think it'll be easier for people to see. Okay, boom, okay. So what I'm going to do is I created a survey, bam. And it's going to take you probably about 5 minutes to fill it out, but I would appreciate it if you fill out the survey. Now I'm going to tell you right up front, because I am a trained researcher. I've done surveys for years. I've done surveys professionally, typically on politics. And every other survey that I've done in my life have always been anonymous. This one is not. I'm going to tell you that from the beginning, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay. I want to be able to send you a copy of the findings once it's done. So I'm going to need your information to send it to you. Okay. So you will notice when you first come on that it does ask just for your first name, not your full name. It does ask for your first name and your email address, because I want to make sure that when I write this up, I want each and every one of you to get a copy of the findings, because we all need to amplify this issue. Black women in business are catching it right now and nobody's talking about it. Like, how are we doing? Like, are you okay, sis? Like, do you need help? And we are all just out there doing what we have to do because we have all the responsibilities that I just spoke about and more. Okay. So we're just caught in this perpetual cycle like the hamster on the wheel, but we don't want to be the hamster on the wheel continuously until you just fall over. And I think the first step in interrupting that process is to take it out of the shadows. It's to talk about it, it's to highlight it. When you take something out of the shadows, you take away its power. When you start to acknowledge something and you let people know that, hey, it's not just you that's going through it. Look at all these other women who have said that they are going through something similar. It's going to make you feel like, oh wow, there isn't anything wrong with me. Like, it's not that I don't get it, it's not that I'm doing something wrong, it's not that I'm not good enough. All of those nagging thoughts that you might be having in the back of your head right now because you're dealing with this alone, I want to obliterate it because I want to be able with the data to show that no, sis, you are not alone, that there are lots of us who are going through this ish. And it's at every level, as I mentioned, it's at every level of this journey. It's at every level. So if you're just starting your business and you feel like you're going through it because you're just starting, yeah, you are going through something because you're just starting. But those of us who are on the other side of this business journey, because you never get to an end until you actually just stop, right? Or sell your business. We're going through it too. It's just that we're going through different things. But some things may be the same that we're going through. But we don't know that until we have those conversations. We don't know that until we come from behind the veil and acknowledge that this is part of the process and there's nothing wrong with us. And then when we do that, we can be very thoughtful about what we can do to address it. But the first stage in the process is to be able to acknowledge that, Houston, we have a problem. Let's look at this problem from various angles. Let's figure out what our challenges are. Let's just get everything out on the table. And then once we understand what our problems are, we can begin to think strategically about formulating a solution. But the first thing I want you to know is that you are not alone. The next thing I want you to know is that there's nothing wrong with you. The next thing that I want you to know is that you deserve joy. You deserve joy. And you shouldn't have to sacrifice it to be successful in your business. My point here is not to say not to be as committed in your business, because we all know that's critical. You're probably doing, hey there, what's up, Wendy? What's there, Tosca? Hey, Tosca. Oh, Marion. Oh, my goodness. All my peeps in the building. Anne-Marie, yes. So the point that I'm making here is that I am not at all attacking your ambition in building your business. I want us to work together to figure out how we can have a both and existence. A successful business and joy. A successful business and a healthy body. A successful business and strong, sound, mental health. A successful business and strong, happy relationships in whatever form we choose. I want you to know that you get to design the life that you want, but you have to be careful to prioritize you as part of that life. You have to figure out how to build in that very, very necessary priority in the midst of building your business, in the midst of meeting the challenges that you may be facing this year, like a lot of us are facing this year. Let's just be real. This year has been an interesting year. Okay? It's been interesting. All right? So I want you to understand that you can have it all. You can have it all. But we're going to have to take our heads out of the sand and acknowledge the challenges that we're facing and ultimately be very intentional about facing them head on and overcoming them. So, to help me, once again, this is totally free. It's not anonymous. I told you guys why, in case you came on late. It is not anonymous because I'm going to literally take the findings from the survey, write up a mini, like very, very brief report. It's not going to be as wonky as in my old days. I promise you. This is not going to be like a 50-page report. I'm thinking maybe I'll try to boil it down to like under 5 pages, which is a lot for me. I mean, when I say a lot, I mean it's a lot to boil it to 5 pages for me. Normally, I'm used to writing much more than that. So I'm going to limit myself to at most 5 pages. But I want us to acknowledge what we are all facing right now so that you know that you're not alone. That's the most important thing. I want you to know that you're not alone. And then from there, let's talk about what we can do to overcome it. In other words, what I am looking to do right now, and I'm just kind of laying a marker in the sand here, I want to expand the conversation I want to have with you. I want to expand the conversation I want to have with you beyond only business success. Yes, I will still talk about that, but I want to expand it to include success in other areas of your life. In other words, I want to redefine abundance. Abundance redefined. And my redefinition of abundance is not limited to monetary abundance. Abundance is, in this form, takes place in being surrounded in a community of people that make you feel affirmed and respected and loved. Abundance means having powerful, healthy, loving relationships that could take a variety of forms. Yes, romantic relationships, but relationships with your children, relationships with your friends, relationship with your family. Like, how can we make sure that we have strong relationships so that we're not out here on our own, you guys, being the rock for everybody else and not having any rocks for ourselves? You know what I mean? Abundance means taking care of your body. We only have one. Ain't that right, Wendy? We only have one, okay? And I want you to be able to feel like get up and be in a body every day that you can move around in without pain. Be in a body every day that allows you a level of mobility and strength that makes life easier for you. I want you to be in a body that, hell, you're proud of. Abundance in the sense of mental fitness and escape from stress and open to joy, right? You know, if you have everything else in place, but the thoughts are killing you, what kind of life is that? So to me, that's what abundance really needs to be. It's about having abundant living in all of those spheres, in all of the spaces, in all of the places. You deserve it all. And I want you to feel empowered to go for it in every aspect. What up there, number? There's Danielle. Hey there. I love it, Monique. Absolutely. Abundance financially, physically, psychologically, emotionally, socially, and spiritually. Let me tell you, I could not have said it better myself. 1000% true. An abundance of abundance. That's what you deserve, sis. And so I have to say, in sort of diagnosing this issue, I feel like the very first thing is to hear from more of you. As I said, I've had some conversations with women that I respect in business, and I keep hearing the same things. We are all catching it right now in some of these other areas that I mentioned. People from, you'll be surprised, from the outside, you would never think. But I want you to know somebody needs to be strong for them too. And I feel like if we would, for a second, come from behind the veil, be vulnerable enough, be vulnerable enough to admit that everything is not okay, that there are some things that are challenging for us, that we're struggling with, that we need help with. Asking for help is not a dirty word. Like all of those things, we could get to that place of abundant abundance. Yeah. So do me a favor, give your sis 5 minutes of your time. Fill out the Well Black Woman survey for me, please, so I can collect this data. And then give me a good week or so to collect the data, a couple more days to write it up. And I look forward to sharing with you some of my results so that we can start talking about what can we do about this. Because we don't have to struggle in isolation. In the collective, there is power. Knowing that you're not alone should allow you to feel strengthened, to feel supported, to acknowledge that there is nothing wrong with you. I think that in and of itself is a good start. Okay? Oh, thanks, Anne Marie. What up, JR? Good seeing you, my man. Wendy says, what about when you do that, but you're the strong one and people dismiss your vulnerability? Oh, my goodness. This right here. This right here. Let me just say this. Thank you, Wendy. That is such a very, very important observation. Listen, who here has not at some point had that situation? Because I bet you full of this stream right here are those of you who are the strong ones in your family. And because you're the strong one in your family, they don't expect you to ever need somebody to be the strong one for you. And so all you have is accumulation of stressors on top of you. Everybody else's stress is laid on your shoulders. But when you need to release, when you need to unload, when you need support, you out here on your own. You out here. You out here on your own, okay? That's not healthy. I'm just going to be real. That is not healthy. All right? This to me needs to be the beginning of you really sort of just going through the survey. I want you to think of, what thoughts does this bring up for you? Maybe it will highlight for you, perhaps, maybe some things that you might want to consider. Hey, I need to change some things. I need to create some boundaries. I need to start prioritizing me. Hopefully some of those bells will start going off. And I know it's easier to say than to do, but it is essential. It's essential. That's right, Tosca. We out here. Uh-huh. I love this. Quit pouring out to others, start pouring into you. Absolutely. What up, Chris? That's Chris Bass. That's my high school buddy. How you doing? Great to see you. Monique said that's why I blocked them for 3 months. She's like, peace out. I'll see you in 3 months. Oh my goodness. But I appreciate you guys. I appreciate y'all. Listen, I'm not going to keep you on here too long tonight, but this has been weighing on my heart for a minute. And, sometimes when you're percolating about something and it keeps bothering you, that is the creator saying, girl, you better do something about this. Okay. So this is my contribution at this moment. And I'm hoping that you'll take a few minutes of your time to complete this survey, because I want to be able to make sure that our challenges are no longer invisible, that they're seen, that they're heard, that they're discussed, and most importantly, that they're acted upon. But the first step in that process is acknowledgement and understanding of the problem. All right. So do me a favor, take a second, complete the survey. Give me a couple of weeks to sort of, at least a week. Give me a week to collect the data, analyze it, write up a little something about it, and I will be happy, happy, happy to share the results with you. Okay. Until then, hey there, Debbie. How you doing? This one of my brand new future millionaires. You are welcome. Oh my gosh. So it's been great seeing you. Hey, Angela. Been great seeing all of you. Simmons University. Deborah, we should chat about that. Absolutely. All right. Okay, you all. So I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Thank you for being so supportive of this. I didn't know what your reaction was going to be because this is different from what I normally talk about. But I appreciate you all being supportive of me, and I hope that you will. Yes, exactly, Anne Marie. Exactly. This is exactly right. Anne Marie says that her favorite statement for me about, normalize Black abundance includes well being. It certainly does. It certainly does. Because to me, if well being is not a part of it, that's really not true abundance. Okay. So with that said, I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Thank you, Wendy. Absolutely. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you all already. I want to thank you in advance. If you're going to fill out the survey, I want to thank you who have already filled out the survey. I appreciate that. And I look forward to be able to share the results with you guys in short order. Okay. With that said, I hope y'all have a wonderful evening and I will chat with you later. Bye, guys.